Welcome to my views and news. Some new stories from Ethiopia and Eritrea. Eritrean flags were raised. They were waved today in Wolkait. In Wolkait Humera Tsegede, protests were held on Sunday. Rallies were held, big rallies. We saw Colonel Zemene Kassie address thousands of people there. Eritrean flags were seen to some posters, a banner with Eritrean flags and a message. What was the message written on these posters with Eritrean and Ethiopian flags? By the way, Colonel Zemene Kassie was in Hajar a few days ago. He attended Eritrean Independence Day celebrations on Eritrean soil on Eritrea-Ethiopia border. Secondly, Zemene Kassie arrived in his hometown today after release from Bahidar prison. He was welcomed by hundreds of people in his hometown. Last year, his hometown was being raided by security forces laid siege to his house. And today, people welcoming him in hundreds, no one trying to arrest Zemene Kassie. Video for you from Merawi. And lastly, Amhara Popular Front of Eskinder Nega to release a statement countering government's claims. Government claimed that 200 Fano fighters were killed in operation against Fano fighters at Dabba Ilyas Monastery. What is APF's position? We have details for you. Firstly, viewers, on Sunday, we saw big rallies in Wolkait Humera Tsegede, in Dansha, in Humera. We saw big rallies attended by thousands of people. Obviously, rallies are being taken out to stop return of IDPs from Tigray to these areas. Secondly, a decision is expected about the future status of Wolkait Humera Tsegede in coming days. It is being feared by some groups in this area, Wolkait Humera Tsegede, that Tigray could retake the area. That is why we saw a message through today's big rallies. It was said by the participants, by the speakers, through the messages written on banners, placards, that this area is part of the Amhara region. There won't be any talks about Amhara identity of this area. Budget is not being released. Criminals, gas won't be allowed to enter the area. Very strong message delivered today by Zemene Kassie. Obviously, a government is backing these rallies, Amhara regional government and interim government in Wolkait Humera Tsegede, led by Colonel Zemene Kassie and others. And some Eritrean flags were raised too. They were waved at these protests. Some banners with Eritrean flags were seen with a message. Message written on these banners with Eritrean flags is that through this area, Wolkait Humera Tsegede, Ethiopia can continue contact with Eritrea. Ethiopia can remain in contact with Eritrea. Very interesting message, by the way. Ethiopia shares border with Eritrea through afar as well. Through Tigray too. Tigray is part of Ethiopia now. Perhaps a message for Ethiopian government that this area should remain part of Amhara because Tigray and the Ethiopian federal government were involved in a war. It could happen again. At least this area should serve as a link between Ethiopia and Eritrea. That seems to be the message through these banners and posters with Eritrean flags shown today at these rallies held in Merawi. We have a clip for you showing some banners and posters with Eritrean flag and a message written on these poster banners. With the clip.
አማራዊ ማንነታችንና የወሰን አስተዳዳሪ ግዛት በሕግ አግባብ ይከበር። ወልቃይት ጠገዴ የከለው ልጅ የአማራ ዘር ወልቃይት ጠገዴ የከለው ልጅ የአማራ
Second was Zemene Kassie arrived in his hometown today, Merawi, which is in Gojam. I have a clip for you from the area. Before that, what happened in Merawi last year? I did several videos last year when security forces surrounded Merawi. There was fighting between Zemene Kassie's supporters, his Fano members, and government forces. For 2 days, there was fighting around Merawi. Then security forces raided Zemene Kassie's house. His mother was harassed. His belongings, family house belongings, were allegedly stolen by security forces. His mother appeared in media, complaining that security forces raided her house. Zemene Kassie fled. He could be arrested, remained missing, then arrested in September last year. And today, he was in Merawi, hundreds welcoming him, if not thousands. No one tried to stop Zemene Kassie today. So what has happened in the last 1 year or so? Last year, Merawi was a battlefield between Zemene Kassie's supporters and Ethiopian security forces. And today, Zemene Kassie's supporters welcoming him. Zemene Kassie escorted by armed fighters, his security staff. So what has changed? No one knows. People are happy Zemene Kassie is out. He'll lead Amhara struggle. I have doubts. Watch a clip from Merawi where Zemene Kassie was welcomed by the residents of his hometown. Lastly, viewers, Eskinder Nega's Amhara Popular Front issued a statement today in response to government statement. Government's Security and Safety Joint Task Force this morning issued a statement, Sunday morning. Government claimed that Eskinder Nega-led APF had seized control of Debre Ilyas Monastery. It was trying to organize, recruit fighters there. The fighters were being trained militarily. Security forces had to conduct an operation. 200 Fano fighters were killed in the operation. Rest fled and some were arrested too. And that Fano fighters had built fortresses, trenches and bunkers. The area was being used as a military training ground, and that fathers, church elders of the Debre Ilyas Monastery were supporting Eskinder Nega's APF. Eskinder Nega's APF was trying to create instability in the Amhara region. Then came statement from APF. APF is rejecting a government's claims. APF did not share details of how many of its fighters were killed or captured or injured. But APF claims that the attack was on Debre Ilyas Monastery. 600-year-old monastery was attacked by Abiy Ahmed's forces, OPDO forces, Oromia forces, APF claims. And that children, women, innocent Orthodox followers were killed in this attack. War crimes were committed by Ethiopian army at Debre Ilyas Monastery. How many were killed? APF has not shared details. How many civilians or Fano fighters were killed? No details. But APF claimed that Ethiopian army committed human rights abuses and that Ethiopian army is trying to make Amhara region leaderless. That is why Eskinder Nega is being targeted. Security forces are trying to kill Eskinder Nega. Eskinder is leading this Amhara resistance movement. That is why security forces want to arrest him, want to kill him. But APF says that it will continue its struggle. People should support the struggle. Amhara people from all walks of life should stand, they should rise. The occasion demands that people should support Eskinder Nega and APF. So APF is denying the death of 200 of its fighters. APF is denying that it was in control of Debelias monastery. But state media is sharing videos, pictures of people from the area, of Orthodox priests, monks from the area, who are confirming that Fano fighters were there at the monastery. And I think, yes, Fano fighters were there at the monastery. They were using this monastery definitely as a base. Security forces had to surround the base. There was exchange of gunfire, and then unknown number of people killed. How many were killed, we don't know. No one knows for sure. But obviously, Fano fighters have been killed. We don't know how many, and civilians too. How many? That can only be confirmed if some independent investigation is allowed into the operation launched by security forces in Debre areas. Thank you for watching.